Yo, we talking about groceries on FBA. Yo, easy. Yeah. J to the O, the Mayos. Groceries on FBA. What you know about that? Step your game up, suck it.
After pretty much every holiday, we really clean up there, and Halloween and Christmas especially. You get anything good?
We're just testing some groceries out. We just got approved for that category.
Testing, huh?
It's kind of weird because I worked at a grocery store for 7 years out of high school and took a totally different career path after that. And here I'm back selling groceries.
Yeah, groceries are pretty awesome. There's a ton of good stuff, and there's a lot of regional items you're going to find that are that really sell well, or at least regularly, because a lot of those items that they may not be ranked as well as items in other categories. They're not as easy to find, so you're going to find a lot fewer sellers on a lot of those brands. Once you find a good brand, you can expand into pretty much everything else they sell. Contact the company and start to buy wholesale, or just start looking and seeking out other products from that brand.
Yeah, I'm excited. I always enjoyed the business, so it's interesting, fun.
Awesome. So did you have any questions or anything you wanted to talk about?
Maybe just a couple. I was looking. We thought of one at the store earlier, and we thought, well, that'd be a good question for Shawn when we get the opportunity. I don't have a repricer yet. And,
okay.
I use the Scan Power app on the phone, but that's as far as it goes. We were just kind of experimenting with what that does. I know that the back end of getting the products in and set up to go into Amazon, the shipping part, that there's a lot of advantages of using Scan Power than just Seller Central.
Definitely.
So I guess question is of all the choices, is Scan Power your choice for that piece, and is what's it called here? Be Cool.
Yeah, BQOOL. Yeah, that's what we've been using for the last year. We tried pretty much all of them out, and for the price, Be Cool, is the best. I mean, there's some that are $1,000 a month that work a lot better than things like Be Cool, but in that price range, it really is the best thing out there. And they're all going to work about the same. So if you're going to pay $200 a month, or you can pay whatever they charge now, $25 a month, you probably want to go with the $25 one. You're setting rules, and when it sees those rules on your products, it's going to do a specific thing. So it's just kind of like a computerized function that but all your competition's using it, so you really need to be using it. And definitely repricing on your own is not really a viable option, because as soon as you reprice a product, if you have competition with automatic repricer, they're just going to change the price again. So that's what we do it for. And, it reprices up as well as down. So when somebody sells out, the next highest price is going to be the lowest price, and it's going to be able to deal with that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to get that. And your assistant pointed me to the video that I guess was recorded prior, where you go over, or somebody goes over how to configure the repricer. I was just curious kind of what your top three, like what's the most important three components of getting the repricer set up correctly?
Well, it's real.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Well, whatever like the strategy is, because I know you don't want to get engaged in a race to the bottom. So I'm just trying to avoid some of the biggest pitfalls.
Yeah, we basically went over that. You know, I like being the cheapest price. You know, I buy stuff to sell it and flip it as fast as possible. And, you know, if you watch many of my videos, you'll see that, you know, holding onto those products is not in your best interest because, you know, if you can sell them, you know, if you can sell your products and turn it over every, you know, every 2 weeks or every month, you know, it's kind of hard to do it every 2 weeks. Just because of buying it, getting it, prepping it, shipping it, and have time to sell it. And for them to ship it before, you know, you get paid again is pretty tight. But, you know, it's not too hard to do it every other payout. So, hey, Rob. So what you really want to do is, you know, get things that you're going to move fast. So, you know, of course, you don't want to race to the bottom, but you're only going to have a race if the other guy has the same thing going on with you, so as you. So if you set yours, for example, to, you know, 10 cents below, you know, your competition, and then they do the same thing, they're going to, you know, they're going to reprice that way, and then you're going to reprice that way. But if you have the cheap one where, I don't know, it's repricing every 6 hours or every 2 hours, you know, that's only 12 reprices a day. So if you set it a penny below and they have it a penny below, you know, you're only talking at the most, you know, a quarter, it's going to go down in price. You know, so those are things you want to look at, or you may just want to set it a few cents, you know, above the buy box. So those kind of things don't happen. But, you know, as you play with your settings, you'll see what happens. But usually you're going to see a huge spike. You know, most people sell, you know, even outside of Q4 will end up selling a couple $1,000s, you know, in one day, depending on how much product you have at Amazon, you know, when they first set up a repricer, because you have so much stagnant inventory that, that it really doesn't, you know, nobody, or I shouldn't say nobody, Amazon's not worried about those products that you don't care about. And, you know, this is really the most important part of having a repricer. So if you list a product, do you have stuff at Amazon already?
Yeah, we've got. We started out as a private label seller, so we
Okay.
a lot of that in there.
Okay.
And then since I started studying you, which brilliant material ad, we probably sent quite a few hundred items in already.
Okay, great. So the way Amazon sends customers to products. So if we look at like a book category, you know, there's like 60 million items in that category now. So obviously a lot of things are going to match the same search terms. So the way Amazon works is they don't care about your products unless you care about your products. So if a product isn't selling and it matches keywords, but other items match the same keywords, if they see that you've done things to the items, if you've changed the price or changed the description or done anything, you know, with that listing, then they're going to be sending more products to it. So if you have a repricer going and it's constantly changing prices, then Amazon's going to be more open to be sending more customers to you. So if your prices are constantly changing, that's going to bring you more customers. And, you know, the other thing, which we probably won't have time to talk about today, is the descriptions and the keywords. So if they don't have keywords that don't convert, like when you create a listing, you know, I don't know what courses you took to learn how to do private label, but a lot of them are telling you to get as many keywords as you can in there, and that's really not working. So if somebody goes to, you know, I usually use like, if you have a DeWalt drill and you have like Makita and a bunch of other brands in there, and somebody's looking for a Makita, your DeWalt comes up in the search and people click on it and it's not what they're looking for. It's not a Makita. They're going to go somewhere else. And then, you know, your item continues to not convert. Amazon's going to stop sending people to those searches because those searches aren't converting. And it's going to take away from from your product. So, you know, if you even get a good product, you can update your own listings. You know, it's how much, I made a good video on this, but it's how much of a percentage of ownership that they think you have. So even if you're selling on a listing, it doesn't matter who originally created it. Amazon owns all the listings. It's not like it's eBay. So when they buy something, or when you even list it, you have partial ownership of that. So now you can update the information for that listing. You can change the keywords and update the title, and you know, it's going to make it, you know, it's going to make it a lot better for everyone that's on the listing, because if it has bad keywords, people go to it, Amazon stops sending you customers. So I kind of went, you know, the long way around that, but, you know, all those things are important, you know, with your listings, especially if you're going to be listing, you know, your own products, which if you've done private label stuff, you probably already know that, but you know, they've changed a lot of the rules lately to make things a lot, you know, harder on people who are creating those original listings. So, you know, you really need to keep, you know, keep a lot of activity going, and that's what a repricer does mostly. You know, and keeps your prices competitive. You know, everything in Be Cool, you watch the video so you can see that it's, you know, it's pretty much common sense, you know, where to set everything. But if you have any questions on anything specific, go ahead and ask me. They've set it up so you can't really, you know, price everything for $1 and, you know, sell out all your inventory or anything like that, which has happened in the past. But you basically have to have a minimum price set now, you know, and you can set a minimum price across the board, like, you know, you don't want to sell anything under a certain percentage of what you paid if you put your buy costs in there, or, you know, a minimum price on the items, or you don't want anything to sell, let's say, for under $6. You know, no matter what your competition does, it's not going to reprice your products under whatever you say. You know, so a lot of the things from the past aren't really going to, you know, affect you with a repricer, which seems to be the reason why a lot of people are afraid of using repricers now. But, you know, I think that's the one thing that's really a must for any Amazon seller who's selling FBA, at least.
Okay. One question is, we did really well with Christmas toys. I was really just blown away. How working with head arbitrage and going in and picking stuff up worked out. The few things that are left over, that some of them that Amazon come back in stock with items were sold out. Would you think a good strategy would be to go ahead and price it like a penny below what Amazon's selling it, just to liquidate the stock, or are you more one just to hold on to it until they sell out again? But you know, if you look at Keepa, once they get it back in stock after Christmas, they seem to keep it in stock. So,
right, yeah, I mean, that's what I would look at. You might want to hold off a little bit because, you know, it is still really a busy time all the way till the end of January. People are buying stuff that they didn't get, or, you know, returning things and getting other things, and, you know, cashing in gift cards and all that stuff. So January, most of January is still going to be very busy, you know, for toys and the same things that we're selling, you know, and they may go out of stock, and you can still wait and see what's going to happen with the products, you know, and if they stay in stock all the time, then you're not losing really anything by waiting a week or two. And if you see that those products aren't going to change in price, they're not going to, you know, sell out again, then, you know, then go ahead and price them that way, and, you know, just get rid of them.
okay.
You don't have to win. You don't have to win on everything. As long as, you know, you're making however much money you need to make at the end of the year, you know, you're doing good. You can't expect to, you know, come out ahead on every single product. You know, no business really works that way. So, you know, I mean, we lose out on, you know, we lose money on lots of stuff, but I'm okay with that. You know, if, you know, I got 2,000 different SKUs and, you know, some of the prices tanked, and, you know, that's just what happened as part of selling on Amazon. You know, it's just to make sure that, you know, it doesn't happen on too much stuff.
I think you can mitigate your risks.
Yeah, I'd rather, you know, have to dump a few things at the end than, you know, not have bought enough. You know, if you have a few things left over, that means you bought enough stuff, which is where I prefer to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure those things that you still have left over, you made your money back on already. So
Yeah, we've definitely come out ahead. So
so having those few things, you know, was better than not having them at all. But going back to your scan power question, yeah, we do use that for all the listing, and you'll see it. You have the free version now, right?
yeah, at first I downloaded the app, but it said you had to subscribe.
Right.
And I was going to subscribe, and there was some confusion that it was something to do with your discount. And so they said, well, we'll just give you the free version, but you can't do the listings or whatever the case. I said, that's cool. I just wanted to use the phone app just to see how that worked until, you know, I watched some of your videos. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do here. So you got to do it one chunk at a time.
Right.
And, so I'm at the point now of getting Scan Power going. So I was going to subscribe to that tomorrow to be able to do that piece of it. But, you know, one question I had, so after you scan it, you drop it in the boxes. We've just been using the UPC to ship stuff in now instead of the other, you know, the Amazon label, FNKSU or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I would not do that. You're doing commingled.
So you're saying if you use UPC, it's commingled?
Yeah, you're just using the manufacturer's.
Okay.
And that's not going to work with everything. And it only works in certain categories.
Okay.
It doesn't work in groceries. Anything with an expiration date, grocery, health, beauty, you can't do any commingled with that. You have to print labels.
Okay. Which we'll do that. When you toss it in a box, I know the one video you said used the Home Depot 18 by 24, 18 by 18 by 24.
We use the small, the medium, and the large. You know,
Okay.
you want to get it as close as you can. Or I do. A lot of people want small boxes. They don't want to carry, you know, have to deal with a 50-pound box. If you can handle a 50-pound box, get as close as you can to that. So, you know, I have 24 by 24, or I mean 48 by 48 by 48 boxes, 48 cubes. So when I have really light stuff, we put them in there. You know, it's the size of a pallet. I'm sorry. 24 by 24 by 24. When they're folded up, they're the size of a pallet. You can't have anything over 25 inches on any side that you send in. So, you know, if we have stuff that's light, then we put it in there. And otherwise, we just use the Home Depot boxes. I mean, I get them delivered by the pallet. It's just easier for us now. But, you know, whatever is closest to 50. So if you have books and heavy stuff, obviously we're using the small ones. But for the most part, we use that large box, which is the same size, the medium and the large. The large one's just taller.
Okay.
But the great thing about Scan Power that Inventory Lab or any of the other listing software don't do, when you print those labels, it prints the warehouse it's going to right on that label. So you can just put the stuff, you know, right in the box, or you can put it to the side, which is what we do, and then later we come back and sort everything into the boxes. But you won't get anything mixed up, and you can do it as you go. Inventory Lab, you kind of have to wait till you're done to get to know what box everything's going to go into, because they like queue up a batch and then they send it to Amazon when you're done. With Scan Power, they're sending each product you scan and list, it's going to send that to Amazon, and Amazon's going to come back to what warehouses they go to. So what we do is we just tape those boxes up and we write what warehouses they are right on the flap, and then we just put them in as we go, and we tape them up when we're done. And then you'll be able to, in Scan Power, if you watch the videos, you see we just, we hit one button and it sends everything to Amazon at the end. And then the only thing we go in and do in Seller Central is we print out the shipping labels, you know, for UPS. And I mean, it makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, I can definitely see where it can shortcut a lot of the processes, and that's what we're trying to get everything set up for, is to be as process friendly as possible. The poly bags, I think one of your videos you recommended using the kind that just zip together versus
Right. We use a Ziploc style. I mean, I buy them from a local place now, but I mean, we used to buy them, you know, like on eBay or Amazon or whatever.
Are you able to get them that already have the warning label on them? Where we looked at today, we can get the suffocation label on the kind you pull off, but they don't offer it. They offer the Ziploc bag, but not with that label on it. I don't think it's worth having to print your own labels and stick them on all those bags. So.
Well, I don't print them. I buy them from Amazon, but you know, it's a lot faster than using the poly bags.
Okay, so you can get the zip bags with the suffocation label already on it.
No, I mean the ones I get don't have them. I'm not sure if anybody has the zip top ones with the suffocation labels on them. You only need it if it's over a 5-inch opening.
So what do you do if you are going to use one that's bigger? Do you print a label and stick on it, or?
No, we get the labels from Amazon, but I mean we don't print them ourselves.
Oh, I see. They're already pre-printed, and you're just peeling it and sticking on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I misunderstood you there at first. Sorry.
Yeah, I can show you the labels we use. We use these clear ones usually.
Okay.
Let me find them. We have them on the site. You can see all the stuff that we use. If you look, yeah, these are right here. So it's like $6 for 1,000 labels. Here, I'll give you the link in the chat here.
Okay.
But those are the ones that we use. But if you go onto our website, you can on ShawnMayo.com, you can see all the stuff that we use, all the all the labels and the printers and all the hardware and software we use for our Amazon business.
Okay.
But using of course the self seal label ones, they all stick together, and you got to peel those things off, and then they're all over the floor or whatever you do with them. They stick to your hands, and sealing them, and they don't look as good as using those zip top bags. So I'm worried about speed. I'm worried about the fastest way we can go, and we just have some of these. I'm not even sure what they are, like a paper towel dispenser, and we put all our labels on, with the stick that goes through it, and I just mounted them on the wall. I've got one like by every, like we got 4 workstations at our warehouse, so I have one mounted on the wall sideways, and we have these labels and the a bunch of other kinds of labels that we have for heavy shipments when we have those, and the ones for the a shippable unit, do not separate. So if we're shipping anything goes in a box, like a bundle or a multi-pack that we don't want to put in a bag, we put that everywhere that we tape it closed, so Amazon don't open it and try and list all that stuff separately. So we have a few different kinds of labels, but that's still a lot faster than sealing anything or using the self-seal ones, so far for us.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all the insights.
No problem. Hang on, I just wanted to, I'm going to share my screen real quick here. I just wanted to show you what scan power looks like. So this is our listing. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So when we list something, I'm at home right now, but you would just use your hand barcode scanner if you got one already, and you just scan it, and it's going to pop up, and you're going to see something pretty much like this when you scan it. It's going to pop up. It'll have a little pop-up box that'll, if there's multiple things for the same UPC, it'll show you the selections, and you can click on it, and then it'll take you to the screen. So you can change these in the settings. These are just some ones that we use the most. And then this has all your information here, so rank and all that, and any kind of competition. So these are new merchant fulfilled. These would be used, merchant fulfilled, and then these would be all the FBA sellers, new or used. And this is showing you the net payout if you sell at FBA, based on the FBA price. If there was no FBA sellers, it would show you it based on the used price, like this one here did. And then you can just click on this, and it's going to take you right to the listing if you want to look at the listing, with all the sellers. And you can also enter in, your cost, and it's going to show you what your profit is and all that information, expiration dates, the whole thing.
Okay.
So, everything is right here on one screen. You know how many sellers there are, if Amazon's selling it, which they aren't, condition, rank, what category it's in. If you want to check restricted, you can click on this. It'll take you right into Seller Central, the listing page, so you can check to see if that product's restricted to you.
Well, I hope you already know that before you buy it, but we
Right,
just
but
what did you say that net payout was again? That's after you enter in the information what your profit is.
right, that's going to be, if you listed it against this FBA price, this is what it's going to be after fees. I don't remember if it has cost in there or not. Yeah, so if you enter something in the cost, it's going to show you this is actually your profit after, after your cost and fees.
Okay. Looks very nice. It definitely will shortcut doing
Right.
some research.
And then once you hit OK, it saves that. And when you're done, you hit finish shipment here. It's going to send that to Amazon, and then to Seller Central, and then you can go over to Seller Central and print your labels right through there.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, so there's a couple buttons every time you want to list something.
If you come up and Amazon is a seller, what do you typically price it at? Their price, a little below, a little above? Or just different in every case?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to beat Amazon, to get people to buy from you. Sometimes they'll share the buy box and, let it rotate around, but usually you're going to have to beat their price to be getting any sales. And people will buy from you, even if you're have a better price. Even if Amazon's selling it, some people just care about whatever the cheapest price is.
Yeah, I mean, we found some opportunities that even what Amazon has their price at, it's still within the profit metrics. So I just didn't know what the best route was with some of those. We don't find them all the time so far, but they do come up.
Yeah, I mean, we're competing on Amazon on, probably at least hundreds of SKUs, which is fine. Sometimes they share, sometimes they don't. But even as another seller, people are still going to buy from you. But, to be able to compete with them, you're just going to have to be able to sell lower than them. And we buy planning to compete with people. Compete with Amazon. We expect prices to go down. I mean, that's just how it works on Amazon. People compete with you, they drop their prices, and you have to be expecting that going in. So we expect whatever the lowest price is, to possibly sell all or some of our products at a lower price. It's just how it works. Rob asked that he's been using Inventory Lab since they started. Are the material benefits you found with Scan Power over Inventory Lab, or is it just a preference of layout? They are very similar. I found the data from the scanner not to be as updated and not to be as recent. But, like I was saying, okay, so you just posted this, but, the issue that I have is that, they send your items to Amazon in a batch. They queue it up, and then when you hit that complete button, that's when they send it to you. And the warehouse assignments are just guesses. I don't know if you've come into that, but where they tell you to put it, a lot of times Inventory Lab doesn't end up there. We've used it a couple times. We used to do prepping, and shipping for our clients. We'd get deals and ship stuff. So, we, would access their Inventory Lab accounts to send stuff to them. And, the stuff at the end would go to different warehouses after you queue it up, even if you do it, in the private listing mode. So, okay, great. So you have had that issue. So the way Scan Power works, which is genius, Inventory Lab, the guy who started it was actually a Scan Power user. He canceled his account and he opened Inventory Labs the next day. Scan Power was the very first one to do it. They've been the first ones to do a lot of stuff, in that area. So, Rob, if you weren't here before, the way Scan Power works is when you scan something and you list it, it sends that information to Amazon, to Seller Central, and they tell the assignment of what warehouses those items are going to go to, how many to each warehouse, every time you list something. And Inventory Lab does it in a queue, in a batch. So when it's done, they get that information back. So when Scan Power does it, they ask, they get the response, and there's never once changed for us. And I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of items we sent in. And so what happens now is they print out on every label what warehouse it goes to. So and what we do is, if we have 20 of something on a shelf, we take one of them. I have somebody count them all up. They put everything on Post-it notes, and they put a Post-it note on one of them. And then when we're ready to list, we take it over and scan it, print the labels out, and we put those products back over there, because now they have warehouse assignments on every label. And then we can label all those products and put them in the boxes, as we go. I have multiple people working for me. So one person could be doing each one of these jobs. One person can be counting, one person could be listing, one person could be putting the stuff in the boxes. And when those boxes are done, when a box is full, we seal it up, tape it up, and we write, we weigh it and write the weight and the warehouse on the side of the box, and we put it to the side. So we've sent out 100 boxes before this way, and not one thing was in the wrong box. With Inventory Lab, you kind of have to wait till you're done. But we can be bringing stuff in, listing, putting it in boxes, and putting it outside of our warehouse to go out on the UPS truck, and continuously do that. Not wait till everything's done listing, and then have 2,000 items that we have to put in a figure out what boxes they go into, and be doing our labels at that point. So it works a lot different. And, I don't know how so many people can hate, Scan Power and love Inventory Lab, because, that is a huge major issue if you're sending out more than one or two boxes at a time. But there's a lot of other things that it does. They do have a free month trial, I believe, and, give it a try. Don't cancel your Inventory Lab, obviously. Try out Scan Power. Just go to scanpower.shawnmayo.com, get your free month trial, and, try it out for one shipment, see if you like it any better. And if you don't, keep using Inventory Lab. It didn't cost you anything to do it. Just, always weigh out all your options. It is a different layout. I've never liked Inventory Lab. I didn't like the layout. I didn't like, a lot of stuff seems confusing to me. And, it's just, Scan Power has always worked out better. And I've been using it a long time, since way before all these, features were involved. I think I've been using it since August of 2012. So, that's some of the differences. So, there's only a few people in here. So did anybody have any other questions?
I'll ask about the Scan Power app for the iPhone.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to read the UPCs as easily as the Amazon seller app. Have you found that also?
Not really, but we use you don't have like a barcode scanner for your phone?
No, I mean when we're out doing retail,
Right.
scan.
Yeah. Like you need to get like a KDC scanner. They're like under $100 and they're great. It's a Bluetooth scanner. It's like this big.
Oh, okay.
You just push the button. It's got a laser scanner, just like on your, just like you probably have plugged into your computer wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just leave your phone in the cart or leave it wherever, and you just pick up the item, scan it. It's laser, so it's instant, and then it pops up on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you a link to a good one later on.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. That I had no idea that something like that existed.
Yeah, we got like 6 of them. I mean, everybody uses those, and then you don't even have to hold on to your phone. I mean, when I do it, I take the iPad. I got an iPad with data service, so I just leave that in the shopping cart. It's got a giant screen, and then we leave it in the shopping cart, and I'm out scanning items with this little thing that you can't even see. It's concealed in my hand. But they also have cases for your phone where they can mount on the back, or a lot of people just Velcro them, to the back of their phone. So even if you want to hold your phone, it's mounted to the back of it. You can just push the button on the back of your phone.
Okay. So that'll read it right into the Scan Power app then.
Okay, well, if there's no more questions, I'm going to wrap it up. I don't know if any of you guys were interested in hang on. We're getting more listings going to unfulfillable or suppressed for UPC description and are UPC missing. Due to the new GS1 rule several months ago, we may start seeing them checking UPCs more often. Also, is it good to? Yeah, so they're probably finding bad UPCs. And what people were doing, what was going on was, people may have been stealing UPCs for other products, or, buying them on eBay. If you bought them on eBay, people were just using number generators or whatever they were doing to create those valid format UPCs. So now those UPCs that they listed, Cheerios, for example, may have owned that UPC when, they bought one to create a multi-pack or whatever it was. So that product now actually belonged to a company who had a valid product. So when that valid product gets released, they can look up every GS1 number, and it may have been unused when you bought it, but now it's being used. So of course it's going to be moved to the valid product, and your item gets stranded because now it no longer has a UPC attached to it. And that may be nothing to do with you, but whoever originally created that listing may have used a bad UPC. So products are getting stranded for that. And I list and improve the listings and look for missing description at time of listing rather than wait for them to find it. So there's not really a good explanation of what to do, because when you create a listing, if it's a multi-pack, that may not be a good one related to GS1. So what you can do, if you want to start looking for things proactively, you can go and look up, any UPC code. You can go to the GS1 website, the US website, and look up that UPC number and see who owns it. If it has nothing to do with the product you're selling, it may not be owned by them, and it may be removed at some point in the future. But I mean, those aren't things that are going to get your account suspended. It's just, mildly inconvenient to, have that product, the product listing made unfulfillable, where you're going to have to remove it and, get rid of it or sell it as a different size package. So, not a colossal thing to deal with. I hope I answered that for you. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Any questions, ask me or Valerie. I'll post a link to get some of the scanners, and I'll see you guys next week.